if a company came to you and said, all right, we know we need to deal with the people issue, we're having challenges, um, we're all in, whatever you say we're going to do, where do you start?
I love that question. Uh, I think I start with asking them, tell me more about it. Tell me more about why you've come to that conclusion. Because the first step we've seen in our practice and our research is that we need alignment around that why. A lot of organizations kind of give lip service to people development. They kind of, well, I mean, literally, Eric, on the balance sheet, people are a cost. And companies will say, people are our number one asset. But literally on the balance sheet, that's not the case. And so when they think about really growing and developing people, I think often there's some trepidation like, well, they're just going to leave and, not going to get a lot of ROI from that. So I think it's crucial. I know it's crucial now from lots and lots and lots of experiences that we get aligned on the business case for this organization. And starting with customers and value creation, how are you creating value? What does that look like? And what is the emotional experience that customers need to have in order to have that value creation? Then we can take a step back and say, okay, so what is the culture that's going to drive that experience? Because emotions are human and super contagious. Some emotional transmission occurs in things like, yeah, I love your website, or that's that blue background kind of does something for me. But if that blue background is like, let's just say it helps me feel more calm and focused, but then you're like this, you know, I'm not going to feel calm and focused. So the human experience is drives most of our emotional experience. And you can go to an incredibly great hotel. It's got the most 7,000 thread count linen, whatever. And then somebody's grumpy at you in the hallway, and you're like, oh, I don't know about that hotel, right? So that that human interaction is something we can map and we can design and we can optimize so that we create the emotional impact that we're looking for. And then we take a
And
step
this,
back and say, okay, what are the leadership capacities that we're going to need to do that? How do we grow that capacity and integrate it across the org?
so in the hotel scenario that you just gave, right? I have, really nice hotel, 7,000 thread linens, and somebody's grumpy at me in a hallway. And because they're grumpy at me, I say, oh, this hotel isn't great. Is that because my EQ is low?
No, I think it's because you're human. And part of the what you're buying, the reason you spent $500, $700 on that night was partly for the linen, but largely for the experience. I mean,
Hmm.
look, the Motel 6 is probably pretty clean, and it's got a bed. And you're paying the premium price because of the premium experience. And in part, that's delivered through material things, but in large part, it's delivered through relational things.